Today it was announced, breaking, Snoop Dogg arrested and questioned to Tupac Shakur's passing. Police questions the rapper's recent interviews, as Snoop Dogg was recently invited onto a podcast, as while being interviewed, Snoop would reveal something that we never even knew about Tupac's passing.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Now, with Keffe D arrested for Tupac's passing, his entire case is being reopened, and the police are questioning on why Snoop Dogg did not get into the vehicle with Tupac and Suge Knight when he was supposed to be there. Did Snoop Dogg know something was gonna happen? Did he hear from somebody that something was gonna happen? As law enforcement believe, there is a real mystery behind this. To understand this further, we need to dive deep into how Tupac actually passed. As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label known as Suge Knight. The two went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they would spot an op in the lobby of the hotel.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keffe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keffe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
As security would go and break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and ops, Tupac and Suge would go back to their hotel to change before heading over to Suge Knight's owned nightclub called 662. At around 11 p.m., they began heading over to the club where things would go down in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keffe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled down.
There was so many unknowns after the altercation was done, and now with Snoop Dogg revealing that he was supposed to be in that vehicle with Suge Knight and Tupac, the mysteries just continue until today, as the police have finally arrested a man named Keffe D, who was in the vehicle that went after Tupac.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keffe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
We need to dive deep into Keffe D's confession, as during an interview it begins with him detailing the moments of finding Tupac and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink. And he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
As during Keffe D's confession interview, he would also share with the interviewer a never-before-seen interrogation with the police that goes on to explain a lot about the situation.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was. Thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
As Keefe D released this footage for the first time ever, announcing that he was actually at the crime scene, inside of the vehicle, and even made eye contact with Suge Knight while it was going down. However, it's what Keefe D would say next, which would be very concerning, stating that Tupac was allegedly reaching for a firearm, which ended up resulting in the other vehicle using theirs first.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
As sources are revealing, there's a high chance that Tupac would actually still be living today if he didn't reach for his firearm. However, this is where things would get very weird on the back end of the situation. Keefe D wrote an entire book on being involved in Tupac's passing, which is titled Compton Street Legend. It includes interviews hinting towards doing the crime, and even a part inside of the book where he literally says he was there. This book is heavily sold on Amazon, but why is he now just being arrested for this after basically confessing to it many years ago? As many fans believe it's now a cover-up story because Tupac may have been found alive. To understand this further, we need to dive deep into a man named the Notorious B.I.G., otherwise known as Biggie Smalls. Fans believe that he was responsible for the hit against Tupac, as Biggie had been accused of going after Tupac several times in the past. Their beef started all the way back in 1994, when Tupac had gone to the recording studio to record a verse. However, while walking through the front door, 3 guys immediately jumped him in the lobby, using firearms as well as snatching Tupac's diamond chain. Coincidentally, Biggie and his crew were upstairs in the recording studio with a full-out surveillance footage showing the front door, meaning that Biggie Smalls watched Tupac walk into the recording studio. Biggie tried covering it up, saying that it was just all a coincidence and that he had nothing to do with it. But according to rumors, the story does not end here. Ever since Tupac was declared to be passed in 1996, theories about him faking his passing and still being alive has risen all over the internet and news. And even from interviews from Suge Knight, the man that Tupac was with, would start coming to light, where Suge Knight would reveal that Tupac was allegedly doing fine in the hospital before his passing, where Suge Knight would state, "When I left the hospital, me and Pac were laughing and joking, so I don't see how someone can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's really weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing and joking if Tupac was allegedly sleeping? That does not seem to add up. However, in 2018, things began getting even weirder, as Suge Knight's own son would randomly take it to Instagram one day, stating that Tupac was still alive and that Tupac was living in Malaysia. Suge Knight Jr. then posted another Instagram post showing a conversation where someone said, "You said too much. It's now time for you to go." Suge Knight Jr. would then start panicking. He would start listing a ton of photos off with Tupac alongside modern day celebrities such as 50 Cent and Beyonce, as he made it seem like someone was going after Suge Knight Jr. for leaking all of this info. As on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he would caption it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon," as Suge Knight Jr. would likely be one of the people to know more about this case than anyone in the world, considering his father was right there at the scene, as his father, Suge Knight, in 2014 would even tell TMZ that he was alive and well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
As similar to his son Suge Knight Jr., after doing this interview, Suge Knight would end up being targeted by somebody in a nightclub, where Suge Knight was almost involved in a very serious altercation. However, Suge Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything about the matter. Many think it was all connected to him talking about it in a TMZ interview, saying that he was alive. Even weirder was in 2010, where a rapper named Tretch was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before his show. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends back in the day, even working on a few albums together. He would be interviewed and the cameraman forgot to stop recording. Placing his camera on the floor, in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Tretch about Tupac, to which Tretch responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. We good. Thanks a lot, man. We good. Last time I saw him, he was in Tretch, man.
As shortly after Tretch's interview and this went viral online, a video would be released from a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.